Good morning or afternoon, everyone. Back on SuperCoach Lads podcast. I'm back here with our usual group, myself, Sluggy, and Butsy, and Marco.
Nice to see. Nice to see, boys. Glad everyone's back.
Yeah, good to hit B.
Yeah, so we'll dive into it. We've got round 11 coming up, and there's a lot going on this week, but we'll touch up on how we went last week, and I know that you two boys played against each other this week, so I'd like to hear how the winner went.
Oh, it's not you, me. Anyway, yeah, had a big win. Just trying to still consolidate myself in the league. I think I'm sitting second at the moment. Pretty happy. Had a good week, 21.78. Climbed my rankings, which is the first time in about 6 weeks. Still haven't cracked the 50 yet, but we'll get there. Team's looking better. Midfield's looking a bit more sound. So I brought in the old big Paddy Cripps from Carlton, and he struggled on the weekend, but I'm really liking my team at the moment. And I love Cripper. He's a gun. Simpson, he's always getting compared to your Fallout boy Dan in the back line from Melbourne, and I don't think there's any more comparisons, mate. You know you got to get rid of him and get on the Simpson train. And I was happy with my rocks. Goldie's in a big good patch of form, so hopefully he can keep going. And the bad ones were just Kelly, who's I think he's just had a couple of bad weeks, but I still think he's going to average at 100 for the year. I brought in Phillips this week, and he had 21 touches and scored 57. So I still don't mind that because 21 touches is a pretty good effort. Really good week on my behalf, Soggy. And what about you, Marco? Bad luck.
Yeah, cheers, Butts. So I hit a score of 21.33 the past week. Dropped in rank a fair bit. I dropped about 5.5k, so I'm now sitting at 45. Team was decimated with injuries. I had 2 players out for the bye, and I also had a lot of players being dropped, so I ended up having 11 players out before the round started. Brought in Jake Lloyd and Ridley from the Bombers to cover 2 positions, but ended up still getting a 0 for the weekend. Good players this week were Caniglio. Bringing in Jack Lloyd was a masterstroke, and Fifey just killed it. And then my bads for the week were Jeremy Howe with his 59. Ridley, he was good cover for the game, but he only scored 49. And Buddy Franklin with his disappointing 60 hurt as well. That's my weekly wrap, boys.
Yeah, it sounded very good. My week went a little bit better than yours. Scored 2,350, which is probably the highest I've scored this year. Currently ranked in the top 20,000, which is good. Moved up 3k, which is also nice. Really happy with bringing in Lloyd like Marco. He's just been in phenomenal form. He's just going to get those easy touches in the back line. Loves getting the dirty handballs and kicking it out. So 118, I'll take that. And touching up on what you said about me Melbourne boy, he scored 95 this week, which was all right. You know, he's copped that tag last week, which scored 40 in the 40s. So Dode, still killing it. 104, got to be happy to still have him, boys. And Fifey, who would have expected a 163 from him after a Ben Jacobs tag? Did you expect to see that, Butsy, from Kangaroos?
I didn't expect it, but at the end of the day, North won. I'm pretty sure. Did North win?
Oh,
yeah, they did, mate.
Not sarcasm. Thanks anyway. And I'm pretty sure Jacobs had 29 touches and actually probably nearly got best on for us. So real happy with how he went.
Yeah, he didn't really tag much, did he?
Oh no, he still did. I wouldn't say it was a hardest. He was around him most of the day.
Yeah, fair enough. And I was pretty happy with Devon Smith now that the Essendon are getting a bit of form. And I was a bit worried last week because he's probably been one of the best players for him when they were struggling. And when they got that win last week, he didn't score too well, but scored 120 this week, which was great. Touch on the bad, just like Marco said, Howe with that 59, which isn't very good. Problem is he's missing this week, and I guess with that 59, he was almost going to be an out last week, so that's probably why his score was so low. I'm also worried about another Melbourne man, which is Clayton Oliver. He's scored in the 90s last week. And I'm really worried because I believe Viney's taken a bit of his scoring potential. And it's a bit worrying. So, yeah, that's basically how my week's gone. And we'll touch up on our round recaps. You got any surprises, Marco?
Yeah, so was taking a look at who people have traded out this week, just scrolling down the list on the old SuperCoach app, and I come across a few surprises in there. So these are updated stats as we're speaking now. So 129 teams have decided to trade out Dustin Martin this week, which I think is just ridiculous. 44 have traded out Sicily, 37 Jack McRae, who is the number one scorer at the moment. Clayton Oliver, there's been 28 for Paddy Cripps also. 29 have traded out the premium ruck scorer in Max Gawn. 10 for Laird. And Jack Silvani, 21 people have traded out Jack Silvani. He's a scoring machine when he plays with an average of 33.
Good old
And it's
Jack.
great to see him back in Carlton side this week too. So, yeah, that's my surprise, boys. Just the dumb trades that people are making are just crazy.
I think we'll back in Jack Silvani for a ton this week.
Still hasn't reached over 40, and I don't predict he will for the whole year. So that's my prediction.
Yeah,
My
well,
prediction.
you go, Butsy.
So my prediction. I reckon you'll get 60 this week. 65.
Oh, because I've talked him down so much.
No, he's playing in midfield role this week. They've
You reckon?
changed him up. No, they've changed him up. They've said that he's playing midfield.
We'll see how he goes then.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you shouldn't really be side swiping these premium midfielders. It's just going to kill you in the long run. What was your surprises this week, Butsy?
Mine was a team that's everyone probably 2 weeks ago just thought we're going to have a shocking year, and the last 2 weeks have actually been really, really good, and they've probably knocked off two teams that everyone thought would have been top four, and that's the Bombers. And I've been really, really impressed with how they're going at the moment, and I think they can turn the season around. I still think they can make finals. Everything would have to go right for them, but the brand of football they're playing and the pressure they're putting on teams is phenomenal. They've knocked off in the last 2 weeks Geelong and the Giants. Giants is probably an easier win because they had a few stars out. But at the end of the day, Josh Kelly come back in, who's their best player, and they were playing at the Giants. So massive win for Essendon, and I actually reckon that I don't think they'll make finals personally, but I think they'll make a season of it, and they'll probably come nearly 10th or 11th. And it's on the back.
I've ever heard you talk him up, Butler. I like it.
I know, it's hard to.
Yeah, I think it would.
But it's come off the back of some of the recruits who are finally actually getting a kick. Saad had 22 touches, which is massive because the way he uses the ball is phenomenal. And Justin Timberlake did really well. Do you know who I'm talking? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Stringer.
No? Devin Smith. He's an absolute Justin Timberlake lookalike. Look it up.
Oh,
What?
good call. Good
Really?
call.
21 touches and a goal. And also Jakey Stringer, kick 3, had 16 touches. Great game. And these are the three guys that they were hoping was going to take them to the next step. And they're let down at the last 9 weeks, but they're really picked up, and it's their best game they've all played together. So yeah, I'm really impressed with Essendon at the moment. It's been a massive surprise because a lot of people had them bottom 4, and I think they've started to redeem themselves. And yeah, and they've got a massive game against Richmond, and if they knock Richmond off, which is very, very doable, I think, because of their pressure and the way they're playing, the confidence they have right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. And just a quick one.
Also, Devin Smith's the number one pressure player in the comp too at the moment too, which is awesome.
Racks up those tackles.
Yeah,
he loves it. And I'm just going to put a sneaky bit of on a player from Essendon. Richmond don't tag. I reckon Merritt's going to hit you 120, 130.
I like it.
That's my round recap surprise.
Go Bombs.
That's good, Butts. I had noticed that they've bet a lot of teams that were in the top 8 last year, but haven't won too many against the ones that weren't top 8. I think they've won all their games against top 8 teams and lost to the ones that are in the bottom 8 last year.
They have, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
And
interesting.
guys, so I just found out a stat too the other day. Richmond hasn't actually beaten a top 8 team from last year.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that too. Yeah. They're the
That's
opposite.
phenomenal.
they have played two tough teams though. They played Adelaide and when they were in good form and played West Coast. So West Coast and Perth's going to be hard to beat.
But it just shows you they're not going as well as everyone thinks. I don't think because again the AFL's given them a soft draw at the start of the year so that they can get a lot of everyone jumps in the bandwagon and makes the team play a lot better. If you go 9-6 to start a year, there's no chance you're playing finals. If you go 6-0 against crap teams,
Sydney did it.
yeah. But were they ever going to win the flag? Yes.
No.
It was pointless at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Should have played the kids.
All right, I'll touch up on mine. Mine's a little bit different. Just gonna have a little discussion on one topic and just a quick yes or no question to two others. Do you guys believe that the goal review system works? Touching back on the weekend, that Jack Higgins goal, I don't know if you saw that. Well, on the review, it's called a point. And I guess the thing that's going on with that is they're trying to not change the flow of game as much. So they're trying to make, and what happened was they tried to make this decision so quick that it didn't affect like momentum, and they don't want to, stoppages in the game. Which, if they'd looked at the other views that we were seeing, they would have seen there was clearly a goal. So, what do you guys believe about the goal review system?
Scrap it. Get rid
Scrap
of
it, really?
Yeah. For now, anyway. Until they get it right, it's not working at all. They've had that many things go wrong with it at the moment. They just need to get rid of it and start again.
I feel like they get
Right.
more calls right than they would definitely get less calls though. So I feel like it
No,
works.
I don't like the fact that they review a slight finger touch. I reckon they should just let
Yeah.
that go. I reckon they should just review what's on the goal line and that's it. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that anyway.
Yeah, because they didn't make the review for that. The Smothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Butsy.
Do you boys know why they brought the goal review in the first place?
Oh, I've seen a few dodgy ones
I
before
don't
that was
remember.
in. Don't know if it was Geelong
Okay.
or...
So the whole purpose of bringing it in was that they were going to get rid of the howlers. So the ones that were clearly
Oh,
touched,
yeah. Yeah.
clearly hit the post, were out in the full, whatever. And the thing that's happening to it is we're getting bombarded by technology, which the world is and society. We're just trying to over technology everything, and we're trying to get the perfect result. Footy's not perfect, never will be. It's a unique game. The ball doesn't bounce straight. We're used to it, but you're never going to get it perfect, and technology is never going to be absolutely correct unless you get a ball that's got a snicker or something. So I'm the same. I reckon. I disagree. I reckon you've got to keep it only for the howlers, and let's start backing our goal umpires in, and they're paid to do a job, not to just go upstairs every time. And something that I think would work really well is having 2 goal umpires. That's my.
I reckon they should bring in 2 goal umpires and just leave the goal review system for what's on the goal line. Nothing on the field. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, good calls, boys. I guess it's just more that they're worried that they make the wrong call and then they cop criticism. Yeah, alright. Yes or no questions to these two. Do you think we should name the Cup at the grand final after an AFL legend? Like they do in NFL with the Lombardi Trophy.
I don't know. Who would you name it after? That's
I
the
could-
question.
I
Who would you
couldn't tell
name it
you,
after?
but I don't know. It'd go to a vote. Because we don't really call it anything. It was just a question.
Yeah, no, I don't know. What do you reckon, Butts?
Personally, probably not. If you were going to name it anyone, it'd probably be someone like Lee Matthews or one of the greats. But at the end of the day, there's going to be so much hysteria on it. And I like the game. I'm a traditionalist, and I just like the game how it is. And
I just like it's called the Premiership Cup. I like
the
it.
Premiership Cup, because we're not. It's like when you go to Geelong, you go to Kidinia Park. No one calls it its real name with a sponsor name.
No, they never do that.
And that's what it sort of feels like to me. It'd be sort of like no one's going to call it the Matthews Cup or, So I like it how it is.
No.
It's traditional and everyone knows it. And it's always been like that. Good question though.
Yeah, no, I thought it'd just be something I've heard during the week, so I thought I might bring it up on the podcast. And this is one that I think you guys will like as well. Do you reckon Melbourne will be a top 8 side this year?
Oh, based on their form right now, of course they will be.
What do you reckon?
I can't
do you
see
think
how
they'll
they
end up?
won't be.
Yeah, well, it's a big call. They haven't played too many tough teams in the past few weeks.
No, but their current form, the way they move the ball, it's kind of like how what Essendon do, except for without the pressure. They're like fast paced. They move the ball well at the moment. I reckon they will make top 8.
They've been in good form.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, they're sitting top 4.
Yeah.
They're sitting third, best percentage in the comp.
I'm pretty sure they got Bulldogs next week, Collingwood, and then they've got Port Adelaide, and St Kilda. They're going to win probably 3 of them games. I'd say they're going to beat Collingwood.
2 at least.
Yeah, 2 at least, and yeah, I can say they'll definitely make finals, but I think they'll probably end up finishing like 7th or 8th.
Yeah, they'll be the lower end. They won't be as high as they are, but they will make it.
And if they do, I would not surprise me if they choked hard in the finals.
Yeah. No,
Not
yeah. Like if they're going to be 10, and they could be a potentially 11-3 in those next 4 games if they win them all, and that almost guarantees your final. So they just need to win 2 more games after that, basically.
Imagine all the pressure on them when they play their first final.
Oh, it'd be a yeah, no,
They won't handle it. None of them have played that. Like that's why I think it'll.
Yeah.
Lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, now yeah, you go, Butsy.
Did he play the grand final? Did he?
Yeah, he did. I don't think he did much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see him.
He wasn't. He stayed in Adelaide for it. They just put a dummy of him out on the field. He didn't do anything.
Do you know they're actually still looking for Tex Walker in the underneath in the pit where the pitches are laid?
Yeah.
No one. Haven't seen him since.
No.
All right, boys. We've had our AFL talk, and now let's talk about some SuperCoach. We'll talk about position-wise who we'll be bringing in, and I'll touch on the defenders. So I'll start. I'm actually going to talk about a guy we haven't talked about yet, and I'm surprised we haven't. He's actually the 2nd highest in the back line. Do you guys know who that is?
Josh Webster.
Yeah, you do, Marco. He has been in phenomenal form. Plays for St Kilda, and he's probably been one of the best players they've had all year. He's had 5 consecutive games of 100 plus, and his other scores, his lowest score is an 81, so then nothing else under 90, which is pretty good. Like, would you guys think about getting him in?
What's he priced at?
541, about the same as Lloydie.
No way.
No?
If he was 450, I'd think about like Sicily. Like when we all bought him in at 450, we all thought, yeah, definitely you got to bring him in. But no, I can't say he's a hack.
Yeah.
I can't see him.
It's hard to put trust in someone that his last year he averaged 71, and then before that he didn't average anything over 60. So yeah, it's
Can't
hard.
trust anyone from St Kilda at the moment.
No, but he has been in good form, so I thought I'd touch up on him. And another strange one that we haven't talked about, who's actually most of us would have had last year, which is Luke Ryan from Fremantle. He's been killing it too. He's on an average of 98.3, and his last 3 scores, I'll read some of them out, 136, 121 and 125, which have been pretty high. And he was a pretty high scorer last year if you had him as a rookie. He was a good scorer. Don't think I'd be bringing him in though, but he's someone I thought I might touch up on. Obviously, the ones you're going to look to bring in this week, if you're going to bring in a defender, you'll look at Laird, which most of you already have him. Lloydie, Hurley's back into the side, so that's an option. You're going to go Yo if you don't have him. Can't bring in Howe now, but I had him listed in. And I'll just touch up on the rookies really quick. Jordan Ridley, it's great that he's still holding his spot, even though Hurley's back into the side. His scores aren't too bad. Hit a 76 in his first game and 49 in the second, which isn't too much to go on. So I don't know if many will be jumping on him, but he's got a break even of -51, so he's projected to go up to about 200k, so he's projected to go up 80, so might be an option. Bailey Rice, he's also an option. 55 and 68. He's another St Kilda young one that's been getting a few games because they've been struggling. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bring him in either. Not really touching much this week in the back line. I'd like to hear what to do with the midfielders. Who's doing that tonight?
That's me.
Audits.
Yeah, so midfield's an interesting one. We've sort of talked about the main ones lately, and you know all about the primos. But I'm talking about a primo who's not really recognised, and we haven't heard anything from him. And it's Caniglio from GWS. And it really interests me because he's sort of at that same position where he was at the start of the year, that price range of just under 500. I think he's like 470 or something.
495.
And I wanted to look at 495, and I wanted to look at why he's been bad and why he's doing really well. And I found a clear link, and it is Josh Kelly, probably the top 5 players in the comp. Probably not at the moment because he's been injured. But yeah, Kelly's back. He played last week, and what I found in the 4 games that Kelly's played this year, Caniglio's averaged 126. And I thought that was really interesting because you don't see that very often. And Caniglio is a bit of a tagger, and I don't know if you guys have, but I haven't really noticed him getting tagged this year at all by other teams.
He hasn't.
So yeah, so that was interesting. So really have a look. You can bite the bullet now, but I probably wouldn't. I'd probably give it a week. But if Caniglio dominates this week on the back of Josh Kelly playing again, because Kelly's always going to get that tag and all the attention. Maybe not a tag, but the attention's going to him. Where is he? Yeah, I'd have a look at him because he's averaging 109 still, but he's averaging 126 when this guy plays. And he's back to full fitness now. So if Caniglio is to get over 120, I'd definitely have a look at bringing him in next week because he's cheap and he can pump out pretty nice scores and he'll be on your lower end of your midfield. Yeah,
good call, Butts.
And the ones that you probably need to start looking at getting rid of is Big Kelly from Geelong. Had a ripper start to the year, but has had 2 poor games now of around 50, and it's going to lose you a lot of cash. And that's probably on the back of Ablett coming back in, and I'm pushing him away from that midfield spot because they're putting Selwood and Danger in there now. And the Holy Trinity are actually in full flight. They played a pretty good brand last week of footy, and it'd be interesting to see that. And Holman, I'd give him 1 more week, see how he goes. If he gets under 50, I'll get rid of him. But he hit 120 a couple of the week before. And so he's going to make real good coin this week. And he's sitting at 306. So he's at a nice price to trade, get that 180k off him. So I'd have a look at getting rid of him next week after he gains a bit of coin. So up to the forwards for it.
Yeah, so this week, I'd definitely be looking at getting this guy in as soon as, this week now, and there's no reason why you wouldn't, is Tim Smith from Melbourne. The young rookie priced at 123, I'm pretty sure. He scored 91 the first round, and then followed it up with 101 on the weekend. So it's going to make you heaps of cash. Just get him in this side right now. He's a gun. He's got a break even of minus 118, so get him in your side now. You're stupid not to. Now, my forward to bring in this week, bit of an outside POD, and he's averaging 102 this year. His lowest score is 84, but he did hit 146 on the weekend against St Kilda, and that's Josh Caddy from Richmond. His scores do hang around the low 90s and low 100s, but his form in the recent weeks, though the last 4 games, he's scored 111, an 88, 113, 99, and 146. So he's averaging 111 over those 5 games, and he's 5th in the Coleman at the moment with 23 goals. So he's looking pretty good based on his current form. If you're looking for a POD in the forward line, maybe consider him. I personally probably wouldn't bring him in, but that's an option that you can go for. And I thought it'd just be worth mentioning him based on his current form. Jake Waterman is one player that I'd be trading out this week. I reckon he's maxed out on his cash, and he'd be very lucky to reach his BE of 85, which he's only reached twice this year. And I'd also be moving on Jack Higgins. Might have another week in him, but he does have a BE of 68, so he's not really likely to reach it either. So I reckon he's maxed out his cash also. And that's the forwards this week, boys.
Yeah, it was good, Marco. We'll just dive into not Marco. We were talking about Butler's segment. Do you know what segment you're doing, Butler? It's yours, isn't it?
Everyone knows it's mine, mate. I shouldn't even be talking about it. Thanks for the introduction there. No, I'll give the young fellas a bit of a run today. Seeing as I looked at the agenda this week and you guys have stole all my picks, but anyway, off you go. Have a go, fellas.
All right.
I'm sure you've got all the research to back it up because that's why you're going real well at your captains this year. Off you go.
I'll start it off. Mine's just going to be short and sweet. Chuck vice captain on Lance Franklin. I think he can go off against Carlton. He did last year. Hit 183. Kicked 10 goals, which was more than what the Carlton football team kicked for the day. He also had 21 disposals. Captain, chucking it on Danger, coming off 133. I guess he's still spending time forward, but he'll still score pretty well. That is my captain's corner. Just short and sweet, boys. You go, Marco.
So I'd be chucking the vice on Maxi Gorn this week. I've backed him in nearly every week as either captain or vice captain, so I'll be sticking with that trend. And I'm going to be chucking my captain on Fifey this week. It was a masterstroke for me last round with the captain's pick. Just plucked it out of the sun because all my other picks were taken and he ended up scoring 163. So I'm coming for your captain's title, Butler. Coming for your segment.
Oh, settle down. So last week again, do you guys remember I forgot who I put my captains on?
I know you put captain on. Do we want to talk about your vice pick?
Who did I have last week?
Danger.
Yep, and he got 130. Yeah, yep. Again, another 130. Take it every day of the week. Again, just thank me later. Just shout me out on Twitter, whatever. Keep killing it, guys. Doing well. Anyway, so this week, for my captain's corner, or Butsy's captain's corner, I've nominated 4 players, and they're the best in the game. So Tom Mitchell, Maxi Gorn, Paddy Dangerfield, and Nate Fife.
So you're just covering your bases this week, are you?
No. You'll see, mate. I've put a lot of research into
call,
this.
Marco.
Got out of doing my school reports to do this critical research, and it took me way too long.
Oh, rightio. Here we go.
Okay. Tom Mitchell, he's playing Port Adelaide. And I looked at blokes that have sort of played very similar to Tom Mitchell, and I found Lachie Neale. Lachie Neale played Mitchell gets a lot of outside ball. He gets inside ball, but he gets probably 2/3 of his touches are outside. And I had a look, and I looked at Lachie Neale, and I wanted to have a look at when he played Port and how many touches did he get. Do you boys want to have a guess?
35.
Close. 38. Had 38 touches. Port Adelaide don't really tag. They can put a tag on, but he'd be very interesting. You could even chuck him on the vice and probably be worth it. Big Gorn Dog, he's playing, didn't do any research this one, but it's self-explanatory. He's playing against Western Bulldogs. They play his first game on Saturday, and he will go bananas.
Yep.
They're playing against a team with no genuine ruckman, even though the no genuine ruckman's a premiership ruckman in Geordie Roughhead. But yeah, I'm expecting Gorney to probably hit 150 for me, and I'm going to chuck the vice on him. Danger is playing Gold Coast, and if you had been listening hardly, boys, you would know that you would chuck your vice captain or captain on the people who are playing the Gold Coast. especially the really, really good primos in our comp. So this year against Gold Coast, McRae's hit a 40, Fife's hit a 38, and they are the two, probably they're the two going the best at the moment.
They're
in the
terrible
comp.
scores. What are you talking about?
So
Good call,
I'm expecting Danger to have 35 touches, and I'm going to say he's going to hit me 140 SuperCoach points. They don't tag; they're not going to tag him, and he's going to go bananas. And then my last one is the one that some flog got on last week, and his name's Nate Fife, and he's playing Collingwood. And again, we know Collingwood don't tag. They never do. They never have. They brought in Greenwood last week, and we all thought, okay, he's come in, he's going to tag Jackson McRae. He didn't end up tagging him. McRae didn't get a great score, but he still had 30 touches, so he let himself down. There wasn't a tag or anything like that. If we remember in round 1, does anyone know what happened?
No.
Round 1, Collingwood played Hawthorn. We all remember it.
Yeah,
Mitchell
I remember that.
had 45 touches. 45 touches.
That's different.
Absolutely.
He's a different player compared to Fife, though.
They are. I'd say one's a powerful athlete, one's not, but they're still average the same inside outside. Hawthorn won that, and he had 45 touches. So I'm saying Fife will hit 150. So there's 4 good ones. You probably want to go between Gawn and Danger for your vice, and Fifey, who plays on the Sunday. I'd put him as your captain. So yeah, that's my captain's corner for another week, another successful week. Big shout out to Big Bryles, kicked 3 on the weekend, Vino athlete, dominated. Get on that, big fella. Fifey, captain.
Yeah, covered your bases there pretty well, Butts. Got most
did.
Got most of the easy picks in there.
First time for everything.
Well, when we first talked about our captaincies, we all had the same. We had vice captain on Gawn, and most of us had captain on Fife. And I did look at Danger myself because he normally plays pretty well against the Suns, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll touch up on Bubble Boys. Have you got any Bubble Boys this week, Butsy?
No, I don't. Don't say it.
Not bringing in anyone in this week?
It's on his segment, remember?
Just a rookie.
Yeah, just the Tim Smith. You got any Bubble Boys there, Marco?
Yeah. Jack McRae's starting to lose cash, but because he's got a B of 150 and it's projected to hit 195, so we'll look out for that, boys, but I don't reckon he'll drop much. But he's on the slide.
Yeah.
Might be a late trade-in for some of us if he drops enough.
Yeah, good point, Marco. A bloke I'll talk about, which Marco didn't touch up, I dare say, because he saw that I was going to talk about him on my bubble. A dude that one of the most traded in this week, which is Michael Walters, coming off a 146 last week, and he's really cheap, so everyone's bargain hunting for him. He's 419k. He had that injury score of 17, so that's what made him drop so far. And if you take out that 17, he's got an average of 103, so I can see why a lot of people are jumping on him. The only thing I'm worried about is that he's a bit injury prone. It's hard for me to back him in. I know he's cheap and he's a bargain, but yeah, I don't know if none of you boys are bringing him in this week, are you?
No.
No, are you thinking? Have you done it yet?
No, I thought about it pretty hard. Yeah, I just don't like his chances of playing for the rest of the season, and don't like that he's not consistently over the top of what he normally should be scoring, that 190 plus. But I guess he's spending a lot more time in midfield this year. But yeah, I'll be steering clear. That's it for the Bubble Boys. And I believe you guys have a few questions.
Just before we do the questions, someone sent me this. Yeah, you heard that right. Benny Brown again, still leading the comment. Get around him. Woo! Anyway, what were you saying? What were you saying, Soggy?
It's not my segment. I'm pretty sure I'm the brunt of this one this week. So I'll I'll let you
Minute
go.
madness.
Okay, so how we have to do it properly is we take in turns, okay, Anth?
Yep.
Okay, off you go, youngster. You can start. Go.
All right. Favorite player?
Oh, Adam Treloar.
Do you think you're arrogant about SuperCoach?
Yes.
How important is beating the misses this week?
Oh, well, I'm copping a 0, so I'm not trading in a defence rookie, so not as bad as I thought it was.
Did you used to copy me and Ian at the gym back in 2016
No,
in SuperCoach?
I didn't ever.
Lies.
Nah.
Man crush.
Oh, geez, you're gonna Leonardo DiCaprio.
Come on,
Your
mate.
work.
It's Jimmy G. We all know this.
Oh, Jimmy G
Last-
in a minute,
You
yeah.
change his name every
Jim-
time we're at the pub.
I just bought his jersey
Every
last night, so
time.
I'm keen for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As Jimmy Garoppolo who plays for the 76ers in the NFL. For all NFL listeners.
76.
49ers. Come on,
Oh,
mate. This
well.
ain't NBA.
Anyway, last year's SuperCoach Grand Final. Explain.
Last year's SuperCoach Grand Final. You were in it and you won. I don't know. Who did you play? You
Didn't you play in it and you forgot to put the captain on someone?
No, that was the year before.
Oh, he's remembered it good. Go down.
What, you want me to talk about it?
No.
No. Oh, I'm confused.
Anyway, who's your favourite beer bong teammate?
Oh, I'm not going to say Woody. Yeah, I'd have to say Marco.
I was gonna say, don't stitch me up, boy. Yeah. I was
Are you
gonna
batting
say.
above your average?
Oh, maybe. Could be.
And last one. Is it true that my mother saw you in a jewelry store 2 days ago?
Oh, a jewelry store. Jeez. No, that's definitely a lie. She saw me in the middle of Melbourne.
Hold on, I got another one, Butler.
Yep.
How did you do it again?
Did you do what again?
Nah, he's not getting it. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Butler?
No.
No.
You do. I'll discuss it after, boys. Don't worry about it.
Alright.
Wrap us up, Swaggy.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We've really been enjoying doing this on a weekly basis, and we love to hear back from you and hear some support during the week, even if it's people that we know. And yeah, just looking forward to this week. Hoping the Pies can come up with another win. We're in the top 8 now, so hoping that we stay up there. Yeah, that's it for me.
Marco.
Yeah, no, keen to see how the Bombers go against Richmond this weekend. Also keen for the NBA season final series to start, and I hope bloody Golden State beat LeBron James and his Cavaliers because I'm sick of hearing about him. But yeah, I'm keen for another good weekend of footy.
And yeah, really looking forward to Big Benny Brown. I'm actually going down to Mal's first game this Sunday. Put us comfortably in the top 8 again. And I think Benny's going to kick another 4 for me. And yeah, can't wait. And it's going to be another good week of footy. Loving it.
Alright, awesome. Alright, catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in, boys.
Bye.